Hello everyone, Double Z33 here. Zane Zeiter back with another album review. And I hope I'm not blinding you with all this burgundy or maroon. I never know really what the difference is, but yeah, so happened that I was wearing a maroon shirt and my favorite hat's maroon, so it happened that way. So luckily this will be the last time for a while that I will be wearing this hat though, because the barbershops are open now, so getting the hair trimmed tomorrow. So no more wearing this hat for the foreseeable future, so that's definitely a good thing. Okay, so today our album review is going to be 21 by Chicago. Showed up there for a second. Nope, went black. Right there we go. Okay, so we're going to be doing 21 by Chicago today, and they were a soft rock group at this time. Of course, they were really kind of a revolutionary group in the 70s with their mix of rock and horns. Kind of really one of the only groups to do that, but totally a whole different group here now in the 80s, and this album came out in 91, so into the 90s. Album clocks in at 52 minutes. And it is their 17th studio album, even though it is called 21. So why is that? They named some of the albums up through 21. They named some of their live and compilation albums numbers as well. So that's how we got to that point. It was a very tumultuous process for the album's producer and mixer. So the producer was ᴛɪᴍᴇ, and the mixer was ᴛɪᴍᴇ. So Nevison thought he was going to at least have a hand in the final mixing, but didn't have a hand at all, and he was not happy with the final mix of the CD. He said it would have been more successful if he would have had a hand in the final mix and what he thought was going to be the final mix. So he thought he was going to hand it off, and Gattaca wouldn't do too much really to change it around. So apparently he changed it around, but as we will see later, in my opinion, he did a great job, and I think this is a terrific album. So, like many albums, we don't really know who is credited truly on the album, unfortunately, because in addition to all the hysteria with the producer and the mixer, there was also the band members were never really in the studio at the same time. They were on tour, so they were just in there when they could be, so a lot of dysfunction there too. We also had longtime member of the band, keyboardist Robert Lamb, upset with the final project on this album too. He was upset that they continued their soft rock direction, and the first two singles that they released were Diane Warren songs. He probably wanted his singles released as more traditional Chicago style songs that he sang on. So the album was a commercial failure, unfortunately for Chicago. The album peaked at 66, which made it their second least successful studio album, with only Chicago 14 being less successful. So despite all this pandemonium that I've touched on here, this is one of my all-time favorite albums, as are many of the other Chicago albums. I know it is popular to hate on the mid-80s releases through this album, the power ballad era, with Champlin and Chef, and Cetera was there for a little while before he went solo. But hey, I love those albums, and I know they have some fans out there, so let's get to it here with track 1, Explain It to My Heart, starting off really strong with this opener. And one of the singles that was released by Warren, written by Warren. And she's one of the best songwriters ever, in my opinion. It's a terrific, extremely catchy song. Brilliant cathartic video as well, if you want to look up the video. Some great emotion displayed by Champlin in the video. Track 2, If It Were You, another wonderful song here. It's got amazing lyrics. It's upbeat. It's fun. It displays a fantastic vocal range by Jason Chef on this one, and I think Chef did a marvelous job replacing Peter Cetera, and I love Cetera as well. You Come to My Senses is a really well-written song. Unfortunately, it is too slow and uneventful. Next up, number 4, we've got Somebody Somewhere, sung by Champlin. And wow, what a track this is. Awesome hooks with Champlin's vocals here. Number 5, What Does It Take? Probably my second favorite track on the album. Just incredible. Just a perfect song. It's about longing to get that person back you can't live without. You are my destiny. What does it take? Love that one. One from the Heart is up next, and it's a change of pace. It's sung by Lamb, and it's a throwback Chicago track. Features lots of horns, and it's not their power ballad formula that they've popularized over the past decade. I'm not a fan of their horn tracks personally, although I do really adore their song Old Days from Chicago 8, I believe it's from. Okay, next up is my favorite song on the album, Chasing the Wind. It was written by Warren as well, another one of the singles, and it's my favorite song on the album, as I said. So I'll just mention some of the impeccable, relatable lyrics here. No use making you care about me. No way that I'm gonna win. Might as well be chasing the wind. So it's about trying to win over someone, but you just can't. Track 8, God Save the Queen. Another departure here. It's a groovy, upbeat track. Doesn't really do anything for me. It does have a good message though. Man to Woman has its moments, but far from one of the best on the album. Goes on for about a minute too long, and it's only 4 minutes long overall. Only Time Can Heal the Wounded is number 10 on the album. It's another subpar track, unfortunately nothing really to speak of or for me to mention here. Next up we have Who Do You Love? No, this is not a George Thorogood cover. Who Do You Love? And it's another disappointing song. It is too bad because it does have a ripping guitar solo that comes out of nowhere toward the end, but that's about it. Holding Out, 12th and final track on the album. And the first 7 songs on the album are much stronger than the last 5 in my opinion. The chorus and the final beautiful harmonies do save this song though. The fading out harmonies make it a good closer. So overall, a great collection of classic Chicago love songs here, in my opinion. Just incredible songs. And I wanted to mention all of the songwriters outside of the band that contributed to the writing of the songs, so I could give them some credit and some props because they really deserve it. These are some of my favorite songs of all time. The songs Explain It to My Heart, If It Were You, Somebody Somewhere, What Does It Take, and Chasing the Wind. Those 5, they're probably in my top 40 favorite songs of all time. And that shows you how much I cherish Chicago as a band. But I just want to mention all these outside songwriters that contributed to those songs so I can give them some credit for how they contributed to this masterpiece here, and they definitely deserve some credit. So we have the aforementioned Diane Warren, Darren Sheff, Kevin Dukes, Gerard McMahon, Tom Saviano. Whew. All right, that's all of them. Catch my breath here, and I would prefer that Chicago wrote all their own songs because then you know it comes from them personally, it comes from the heart. It really means a lot to them. But the way they sing these songs, it definitely shows that there's something inside that they connected to these songs too. So my rating. If this album was the first 7 songs, I'd give it a 4.5, but due to the final 5 tracks lacking, I have to go with a 4 out of 5. That's a 4 out of 5. So that'll wrap things up. If you like my content, please subscribe. Ring my bell. That way you'll get notifications whenever I upload new videos. Follow me on Facebook, donate to my Patreon, links will be below. And comment your thoughts here or on Facebook so we can discuss this great Chicago album, or if you don't care for it and you like their 70s material, we can discuss that as well. And maybe you can recommend me some stuff to get me into that. So thank you very much for watching. So long, everybody.